Gen Zs and millennials are deciding to drop out of this society, and I honestly don't blame them. I'm literally right there with you guys. Like, I feel like you can go like so long just like giving a fuck, so long waking up, dragging yourself to your job, but it's like when you're not getting anything back, people just start to say screw it.
It really does feel like Gen Z got the short end of the stick when it comes to not just the life they've inherited, but the earth they've inherited as well. Are they going to be the last real generation to have any success at all in this country and in this day and age? We're going to discuss in today's video and react to a bunch of Gen Zs as well, and people talking about their struggles in life and how they see the world. Are they waking up? Let's discuss it in today's video.
The majority of Gen Z is unemployed. Yes, it's true, and yes, that is a ridiculous statement because a lot of us are graduating college at this point.
They're a very educated generation, not quite as educated as the millennial generation. I think the millennial generation was the most educated and most underpaid for the qualifications they had. But again, universities and colleges, they're changing. You know, they don't offer the same guarantees anymore in this economy.
Meaning we were lied to our whole entire childhood, all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, thinking that we are going to get these amazing jobs and we're going to be financially stable and it's all going to work out when we graduate. That is furthest from the truth. I recently graduated college in May of 2025. I do not have one friend that is truly employed with an actual job that their career uses. Like, yes, I have employed friends.
Yeah, it's really hard to get into the field that you study as well. But I will say a lot of people do choose the wrong classes and programs just to get a degree. But ultimately, it's also on the universities and colleges for offering these programs and essentially stealing their money. People are wising up to this now, which is actually pretty good because colleges make way too much money and they're just not offering the same guarantees.
Friends, like at normal jobs, like retail, restaurants, things like that, but that is completely different. It is crazy to think that, again, we were just lied to throughout our childhoods because everyone said, okay, if you spend this first, if you make it through elementary school, then you'll go to a good middle school, and then once you make it through middle school and you get good grades in middle school, then you're going to go into high school, and your high school teachers, they are going to teach you how to get into really good colleges. And if you get really good grades in high school, then you'll get into a really good college. And if you get into a really good college, then you're going to get a really good job. And if you get a really good job, you're going to make a lot of money and you're going to be set for the rest of your life, even though you're probably paying $100,000 a year in college tuition to have this guaranteed good life and guaranteed good job, and that is just not the case. So what's happening to Gen Z? No one is able to move out. I have very specific reasons why I was able to move out, and I will get on with that very soon. But I also do not have one friend that was able to move out because
housing and rent is so expensive as well. So a lot of people end up staying with their parents until they're in their 30s now. That's going to be a reality for a lot of Gen Z.
First of all, the cheapest one bedroom you can find in just about any city is about $2,000 a month, which that is ridiculous. What 22-year-old straight out of college can afford that when we don't have a high-paying job and a high-paying salary? And then when you get to actually apply for these jobs, everything you apply for, when you have a degree, you will get a rejection from. When I was applying to jobs, I saw this time after time after time again. This happened to all of my friends, literally everyone I know. Because of AI, all of these entry-level job positions are being taken over by artificial intelligence.
Yeah, what a great time to enter the job market. It's just...
And all of the jobs that actual humans are doing now require like 3 to 5 years of experience But how are we supposed to get experience if... So with this new generation, we need to find ways to make money on the side. Oh, and again, to go off on this tangent, if you can find any sort of entry-level position, it typically does not have a paycheck. It's commission only. I am a real estate agent, which again, I needed another certification to get after my degree. I don't get a paycheck. It is fully commission.
Yeah, and when the real estate market is not doing good, it's a brutal profession.
So you either have to have like a CFO or CFA, I don't know, CPA or a master's degree. And that is just not realistic. So we need to be making money other ways to be able to move out and suffice a life as Gen Z. Personally, I do social media to make extra cash as a real estate agent, working solely off of commission. And I make money on the side. It's so random, guys. I make an extra like $200 to $300 a week from this app called Pay Me. It literally just pays you for class action settlements, and then when you go to your PayPal account, you have like an extra $200 to $300 sitting there every single week. It's great. So for example, that pays my grocery bill. Social media pays my rent. And when I do make a paycheck from work, that goes strictly into my savings. I don't know, Gen Z just is cooked.
Gen Z might be cooked, but at least she's resourceful in finding ways to make extra money. Feels like that hustle culture was inherited by the millennials and passed down to Gen Z.
Gen Zs and millennials are deciding to drop out of this society, and I honestly don't blame them. I'm literally right there with you guys. Like, I feel like you can go like so long just like giving a fuck, so long waking up, dragging yourself to your job, but it's like when you're not getting anything back, people just start to say screw it. People are exhausted, people are burnt out, and it's like as soon as you're in a position where you're able to like catch a break from this, you kind of just feel like all of it just starting to catch up to you. You start to realize the mental exhaustion that you're living with. You're living with a dysregulated nervous system. Your brain is just kind of trapped in that fight, flight, fawn, and freeze. And it's almost like every time you try to put yourself back out into society, it literally feels like your body and your spirit is just rejecting everything about it. It's like that it's not natural to live this way. From the food we eat to the overworking ourselves week in and week out, not being paid enough to survive, it eventually gets to a point where it just completely takes a toll on you and people just stop caring. And it feels like, the amount of effort it takes to participate in this pathetic society exceeds what we now get in return. It's like things were a lot different 20 years ago than they were now. People were able to, live off of one income and still be able to survive comfortably. And now there's people out here that have like 4, 5, 6, 7 sources of income coming in, and people are still failing to be able to pay their bills. Something has to happen. Like, I feel it in my spirit. I feel like more people are getting to a point where they're just done. They're just fed up with this shit. They have nothing left to contribute to this toxic ass, narcissistic ass society.
Well, it's not just the fact that people are leaving because they want to leave. Sure, yeah, the society that has been constructed around us is going to hell in a handbasket, but it's the fact that we can also not afford the same luxuries that previous generations did.
Out of 3 young men is living with their parents under the age of 25. 1 in 5 are still living with their parents at the age of 30. There's an absence of connection at a young age. Only 1 in 3 men has a girlfriend under the age of 30 because women are dating older because they want more economically and emotionally viable men. 40 years ago, 60% of households with a 30-year-old in it, or 60% of 30-year-olds had at least one child. Now it's 27%. So the ultimate expression of optimism in a society is you meet someone and you decide to have kids. And so that optimism has been cut in half. So you have this fissure between the economic reality and what's going on, because a lot of people aren't doing well. And the social media algorithms love to pit people against each other. You have young people especially not doing well. The average 70-year-old is 72% wealthier than they were 40 years ago. The average person under the age of 40 is 24% less wealthy. And when young people or your kids aren't doing well, it impacts absolutely everybody.
Yeah, that is very well said. Scary, scary words, but it really should alarm everyone. Because if the next generations can't afford to actually have a real life, where does it lead society? You could say, well, the robots are coming, AI is coming, and maybe that is the case. But that doesn't negate the fact that people still need purpose. And where are they getting that purpose? That's why a lot of Gen Z are abandoning society. Leave your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.